My Hero Academia is the most overhyped piece of shit I've ever had the displeasure of viewing. Okay, did you dislike it yet? Let's begin. There's always a series of mainstream anime that come along every once in a while. These anime were people deem as the standard for that time. For example, a short while it was Attack on Titan, or Sword Art Online, or even Death Note. There's always something that blows anime fans out of the water to the point where they say, okay, forget about everything else we've seen. We're making this one popular. But here's the thing with anime fans. They're all stupid. Okay, at least like 99.99% of them are. A lot of people have criticized My Hero because of the bad character progression, lack of original plot line, uninteresting and bland villains, and a drag of a narrative. And here's the thing, I want to get one thing straight. I don't hate it because it's popular. I know a lot of people just like to be a contrarian of whatever is popular during that time, but I don't actually care if something's popular. If it's good and well-deserved, and it is popular, hey, more power to it. I mentioned those mainstream anime before to prove a point. Attack on Titan, well, it definitely doesn't have the best pacing, and sometimes they ruin the tension by killing off half the characters in episode 3 and you're left saying, well fuck, I'm not getting attached to anyone. I'm not getting attached to any character now that I know that they can all die at any second. But hell, the Titans concepts as a whole is exciting and thrilling. It's cool to see a giant ass monster being killed by an army of soldiers, or at least maybe that's just the Godzilla childhood talking to me, but Attack on Titan at least try to bring something new to the table. The animation is nice, art style isn't really my thing, but I'm glad they at least tried. It doesn't look like everything else we've seen 10,000 times. It has its own personality, and for better or worse, I can at least enjoy that. Was it overhyped? I guess, but I can understand the enjoyment in it. Death Note was a thrilling psychological horror masterpiece that somehow managed to still be an anime, and it was utilized by actual good voice acting. Yeah, I know. Voice acting in an anime, being good. That's kind of something I forget to criticize. Sword Art Online, okay, yeah, that's just fucking bad. I still have no clue how that became popular. The thing about My Hero is that it might be worse than Sword Art. Now I'll admit, the first 3 episodes are a masterpiece. It can't be beaten. It's just somehow that good. If you judged My Hero based on the first 3 episodes, it would be one of the best anime I've ever seen in my life. It was just a short animated film. This project could have been something fantastic. Because the character Deku is disabled in the way. He has had to deal with his environments at a huge disadvantage. So once he meets his own idol, a person who has given him hope, they both reignite the flames deep. I'm not gonna say deep. They both reignite the flame inside them. It's a beautiful story of successor and master. However, Deku needs to grow up. He needs to get stronger. This whole disability thing is boring. Oh, he can only have the most powerful quirk in the entire show for a short while, then his body just dies and collapses into itself. That's just so fucking In most anime and TV shows, the character progressively gets better over time in order to reach the highest possible threat for that story. It's a hero's journey. It's the concrete elements of every good superhero plot. But in My Hero, it's just, oh yeah kid, have the best power up in the universe, except you're such a fucking weakling, your body can't even handle it. It's just so boring. In contrast to my favorite manga of all time, that also has a similar element to this power up, Guts has the Berserker suit, which kind of had the same element as My Hero's power-up, except the Berserker suit only enhances the current user's potential to the maximum and makes them feel no pain. However, that comes at a cost, because if you use it for a while, a giant demon from the depths of hell will try to consume your soul and make you into a complete monster. But you know, you take the pros with the cons. The thing about Guts and Deku though, is Guts was always a beast. He had to struggle and survive. Much like Deku, he had to struggle with his environments at a huge disadvantage. As a kid, he was already sent out in war, and things only got worse from there. So he had to meet the challenge with full force until he became something greater than demons. His Berserker armor is only a bonus. It's not the one thing giving him a huge advantage over everyone. And even then, like I said, it comes with many flaws. Now with Deku, if he just physically gets stronger, he can literally abuse the most powerful quirk in the entire universe. Hell, fucking All Might did it at the same age. Look at the fucking film. He's doing it. They're the same. Why can't he? It's Like, isn't the whole point of the show that no matter who you are, you can reach your dreams? Apparently not, since Deku can't even use the most overpowered shit ever. Meanwhile, you have characters who are way more deserving of that power, who would actually help out more people overall. But nah, Deku is the main protagonist. We shouldn't have to prioritize the world's safety or anything. I mean, what the fuck do we think we are? He's just an innocent boy, right? I hate this logic so fucking. Every time the show is trying to be cool and there's an actual action sequence that doesn't look like complete and utter ass, they always cut back to the main character crying over them being like a little bitch in their childhood. You know how heroes typically embrace their past with courage and confidence? Well, not these fucks. They're constantly sobbing about how they were afraid as a kid and how they need to be better, and oh, this time I'll be better, this time I'll get the true power of, this time I'll show them I'm not a fucking wimpy kid. This is just the most insecure shit ever. I'm not saying you have to be the cockiest asshole in the world, but this trope is so overused, it makes me legitimately hate every character that has a sad or sobby backstory or shit childhood, because they all play out exactly the same. The one time they legitimately had a good character, someone who actually stands out and who you can genuinely root for, not because they had a soppy, sad childhood and ooh, that's so relatable because I was a little bitch in high school. They're like, wait, people like this guy more than Deku? Well, guess we gotta fucking destroy him. And they do exactly that. The main villains are not interesting. They just show up randomly, like in the first season. No build up, no nothing. They were just randomly there and their designs were fucking horrible. It's just so ridiculous. It's laughable. I mean, it reminds me back in like, you know, the old school Marvel or DC days where the costumes for villains were just so ridiculous. Yeah, imagine that, but just without any of the charm. None of the villains are intimidating. Their motives, if they have any, are so bland and unoriginal that you just get sucked out of the world entirely because you're just like, this is so unrealistic. This cannot be happening right now. This is a bad show.